Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Great glasses. Roll call, Don here, Owen here, Justin here, AJ here, and Nancy has resigned from the Lodgers Tax Board just for family, she's gonna be out of town a lot, so that's gonna be an item on our agenda. Yeah. I would accept a motion for approval of today's agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda today. I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passes. Next, we move on to Tourism Director report.
Busy time right now. Got balloons coming up this weekend, Aviation Week following that. See a lot of activity in town. We've been very busy in that area. So one of the great things that finally happened, I got something accomplished. In case anybody hasn't noticed, there's a big old digital sign outside. Took quite a while. Village Council was pretty happy to have it up last night. In the reaction, they congratulated William Humbert and myself for finally getting it done. Because I know Bill's been on it for a while. Council had actually approved it. The previous council had approved that sign. So we're moving forward, getting some things done. Turf's supposed to they'll start bringing in the machinery to put the turf down today. So things are happening. And go to the advertising campaign update since I'm rolling anyway.
Is that on the agenda?
Yes, it's A.
Okay, so we'll move on to old business. We'll move to letter A, advertising campaign update.
Okay, you've got the report in front of you. I got it yesterday with Tim from Shift Media.
I got
Oh, yeah, I've got another one right here. This is that. Okay, now you've got the report. Tim from Shift Media and Monica from Caristo Creative and I work very closely on all of our ad spends. It's important to me to not waste money and always be adjusting our targets as we develop new targets and see new opportunities. Tim at Shift Media, you've seen his presentation. He's very sharp. He's on top of it. He knows his stuff. He can explain exactly what all these charts say and do. I'm going to cover the highs on it. He's very impressed with how our account is performing. Paid search, which is putting money into Google so people find Angel Fire, has been very good. It's responding directly for searches for summer vacation ideas, family activities, things to do in New Mexico and so forth. Our goal this year was to be in market earlier. We started our summer ad campaign the third week of April this year. That's early. People aren't necessarily booking vacations yet in the third week of April, but they're planning and they're doing some research. And with our market, a lot of them new, a lot of new people in Texas and so forth. I don't feel we have great brand saturation, and we always need to be promoting Angel Fire as a destination. Not everybody knows about Angel Fire in Texas like they did 25 years ago. A lot of new people. So we're getting the response, we're building the brand. We were in early. And when we were in early, we're averaging about 100 booking reservations a week on our website, direct referrals to our lodging partners. In the last couple of weeks, it's gone up to almost 500. So it's come up more than 4 times as people are now shifting into the booking season because it's close. They're out of planning and research and they're booking. So they're pushing the button and spending the money. We're about 4 times the referrals from launch. Website traffic increased to 5,000 to 6,000 visits per week. We were down at about 1,000 when we're sort of dormant. Our paid search is driving booking referrals at the same efficiency and volume as it did in the peak of winter. So our campaign ramped up real quick, and we're hitting it hard right now.
Is that unusual? For it to
It's,
be equal to winter?
yes.
That's what I thought.
Yes, but if you think about what we have out there, in winter, a lot of our market's only looking for little gap periods. Christmas, spring break, most of the families are traveling during when schools are out. In summer, it's out the whole time. So summer's a big opportunity for us to grow. So we wanna hit that saturation that we have for Christmas and spring break through all of June and at least all of July. Take that 2 weeks of high season from the winter, turn it into 2 months of high season in the summer. Now we've got lodgers tax money to build a convention center, so it's all coming back to us.
I'm a little surprised that Albuquerque numbers.
Yeah, Albuquerque's performing strong right now.
I mean, that's just a little shocking that they would be that high on the booking.
Especially when we're spending so much more money in Dallas. And this is not because of the Advanced Air campaign, because the Advanced Air campaign, we're running ads in conjunction with that Advanced Air, come to Angel Fire Fly. There's $200,000 being invested in that. That didn't start till June 1. So that campaign is not contributing to this. And that campaign is only promoted in Albuquerque and Dallas. So we could even see more upswing from Albuquerque. The other market that's evolved, and we talked about it, Phoenix.
Yeah, I saw that.
Phoenix is nuts in the booking referrals.
You think it's just because it's already oppressive there and they're just looking to try to get away, or?
This week, yesterday at the visitor center, just yesterday at the visitor center, I had two groups, one group of 4 and one group of 2. They were from Phoenix area. The first group, I said, where are you guys, we always ask, where are you guys visiting from? Where it's hot.
Yeah.
Okay, that's south of here. Can you narrow it down? Arizona, okay, south of Flagstaff somewhere, right? And they're like, yeah, Phoenix. And as we're talking, as Monica and Tim and I are talking about this yesterday, and we're trying to dive into why Phoenix is responding to this as a destination. We think it's maybe because if you look at the mountain destinations around Phoenix, Flagstaff and Sedona, they're saturated. They're crowded. They're like going to Summit County. It's just, maybe those Phoenicians are looking for alternative destinations now. And if they are, we want to be on their list. Because it's not that far, it's a 9-hour drive, just like Dallas. So, yeah, Phoenix is still performing very well. Yeah, Albuquerque, Dallas, Houston, Amarillo, as we knew, Phoenix, and then San Antonio are a little outperformed its weight as usual. But it's interesting that Phoenix is as high as it is. It's a shocking market. It's just so, and if you go through these columns, when you see the little dips here at the end, those are because of the lag in tracking. These aren't real dips. It's when we're measuring something the last few days of a month, like the last few days of May, some of those clicks that were going to be credited to those last few days of May may not have happened till the first few days of June. So they're lagged in the tracking. So the dips, we aren't dipping like these charts show. We're still ascending. It's just the cutoff period for the reporting came due. One of the things Tim has pointed out is the paid amplification is only successful because the content is excellent. We're putting out the right message to the right people. We're targeting families. The first thing we marketed was Angel Fire as a destination, a great place to go, lots of things to do outdoor and so forth. Then we started focusing on events, give them specific time periods to come. I've heard some rumors that this weekend for Balloons Over Angel Fire, we should see record occupancy in town for a summer weekend. So that would be nice to see and continue that through 4th of July and Blues Fest. But the ad campaigns are performing phenomenally, way better than what we would have expected and way faster than we expected. A lot of those clicks come from our winter visitors that were already there. But since we started this campaign, we've added another 900 Facebook followers and 1,300 new Instagram followers, which is weird because usually you add Facebook before Instagram, but the Meta's changed the two. So not as expensive to advertise on on Instagram anymore. And they're trying to drive more people to that platform, and obviously it's working, whatever they're doing. So it's nice to have these people that know what they're doing, that can put out this information and help us in our community. But there's some great insight here. Great details. Anybody have any questions before I just get excited and bogged down in this stuff?
I can tell you at DFW Airport, New Mexico True is about every third ad.
Yeah.
I've seen it all over DFW Airport.
Yeah.
So they're doing it too.
Yeah, and that umbrella that New Mexico True gives us is phenomenal. They sort of go break down the barriers and build awareness of New Mexico as a destination, and we go in there with our offers right underneath. And it's working. The partnership with the New Mexico Tourism Office is good. We do have a $150,000 grant that we've received with them for next year for social media advertising. And the big thing on it, they've removed the requirement that everything has to be branded as New Mexico True. Because my problem with that is we have our own brand we're trying to promote as Angel Fire. And that's important. We use our money to promote our brand, but now we can use the state's money to help promote our brand. We don't have to just promote their brand. They called it the lockdown, and they've removed the lockdown from that, so it helped.
Well, thank you. All great news.
Yeah, it is. I told council last night, we're gonna have a very busy summer, and if we don't, they should hold me to it in September. So I'm pretty confident, and I don't get confident about this stuff. Thanks.
We'll move on to item B, event facility update.
All right. Hello. All right, lots of stuff happening back there, as you can see. So water lines are ran, we got risers up. We've got sewer, I think ran, you can see the risers on those as well. Electricity, got conduit, Bob's working on getting conduit put down. I think he got part of it put down yesterday or the day before. Kit Carson ran their cables, what was that, Tuesday? So we just have to do a little digging between the box and the conduit to get that hooked in. And then when Bob gets in the pedestals here in the next few days, he can get that put in. So we may have electricity, water, sewer out there by the end of next week, maybe. For sure by July 4th, which is our goal right now. Turf, the foreman and part of the team is gonna be starting to come in this week. Today is when they're supposed to be starting to come in. And he's gonna be working on the finishing touches, getting the lot ready for the turf. And the turf should be showing up sometime next week. It's on order. So once that comes in, the rest of the team will mobilize here and they'll start install. It'll take 2 to 3 weeks to install, so we're right, on schedule.
Is any of that infrastructure work gonna go in the middle of the turf? Like, there's not gonna be like an electrical pedestal?
The only thing that'll be in the turf is we're gonna put something to hook the tent up to.
Okay.
But no pedestals, no water, nothing's gonna be ran in the turf.
Oh,
So
that's
it's
pretty
gonna be
good. So
clean.
you're gonna do some for the tent.
For the
Yeah.
camp, yeah.
On that
couple
one
anchors.
side, on the north side, we can't, on the rest of it, you can anchor to dirt, but on that one side, it's gonna have to go into the turf, so they're putting anchors in.
Yeah, we'll put some anchors in, and then, for like the stage, when you start putting the stage together, maybe next week we'll find some time. They're running a pedestal back behind it for power for it, so it's coming together. Any questions? Oh, and parking lots, they're putting down base course, today they're gonna be working on what is it? Essentially 2 new parking lots and the one that was already there, so all that's gonna be ready for rain or whatever comes its way, so we're gonna have that. Oh, and the skate park is gonna start going up today as well. It's gonna be on lot 6, which is so if you look back there, it's kind of split up the 2 pads. So the front north pad is gonna be where the turf and the stage and all that's gonna be, and the back is gonna be parking. and we're gonna have the skate park there. So he's got about a 40 by 40, for his regular stuff, for the, stuff that AJ is helping him with, the big ramp. And then they did the school did built this statue type thing with way big statue. It's like 40 by 40 as well. It's gonna kind of be, it's gonna have like a pyramid and all kinds of stuff. I'll show y'all a picture here in a little bit. It's gonna be really cool when he gets that out there, which that'll be out there part of the time. And we're gonna see if we wanna put that somewhere else.
Is it art or is it something?
Yeah.
No, it's gonna be, it's good, it's art, but they can skate it.
Okay.
It's gonna be a usable art piece. It's gonna be really cool. He showed me I'll show you all the pictures. It's really cool.
And the school's doing that?
Yeah, the school built it
Yeah.
already.
Very nice.
Yeah, so, but that'll go in later or for the actual festival, or if we can find a spot for it. I kind of want to figure out a spot for it where it'll be out there all the time because it's really cool. So yeah, any questions?
Are the vendors, what's the schedule on vendors coming out there? Do you know?
Like food vendors? Okay, so right now I've got nobody permanent. If any of y'all have anybody who would like to be out there permanent somewhere out there, let me know. I'd love to talk to them. Right now, I've got Baum Street that's out in front of it. AJ's that's gonna be over there, during events. Anytime it's busy, they're gonna be out there. Aries Taqueria is gonna put their second trailer out there and they're gonna open for events. It won't be open all the time. And then we got an acai bowl and smoothie place that's gonna be out there for all the big events. And then I've got, working with some breweries, Knuckles, need to talk to them again, but make sure where they're at schedule wise. Knuckles is gonna be at pretty much at everything. I got Blue Dragonfly gonna be at multiple events. And then the resort will be at a few to help out a little bit too, so.
The sewer that you're running, is that for the temporary porta potties so they can just drain them right there?
It'll be for that and for the food trucks,
So they can drain there?
where they can just stay there and drink. Yeah, they can hook up there's water where they can hook up the water and sewer where they can be right there full time if they choose to.
Very nice.
And it'll hold up to how many cards you take?
We're planning for 4. If they're smaller ones, we could probably throw in another one, but 4. Mhm.
And the goal is to try to find somebody that would stay out there during the summer, or are you?
Maybe next summer, I would say would be a good goal to have 1 or 2 out there that's full-time next summer, once we know we're having every event out there. Right now, I'm pretty happy with my temporary
Yeah.
truck plan. That way it doesn't put as much pressure on those owners. While it's not in complete 100% use yet. So I think, yes, by next year, I'd like to have some full-timers out there.
And if you build it, they'll come.
Exactly. If you build it, they will come. All right, anything else?
It's really exciting. It's gonna be pretty cool to see it all go up.
Yeah.
It's come along
The
fast.
restroom trailer's out there.
Oh, yeah.
That looks nice.
We'll have that hooked up. I can hook that up straight to the water and the sewer where we're not having to maintain that as much. Just got keeping it clean. But we're not having to fill the tanks and put that extra pressure on the trailer.
But then,
Is there a backup
Do it.
for the restaurant or the restroom trailer? Is there a backup?
Is there a backup?
we have porta
Okay, so
potties.
Is it back up?
I'll call Cole and he'll have his porta potties out there.
We have porta potties out there too.
Oktoberfest in Red River last year, and you had that big beautiful trailer thing, it was shut down, not even this morning. It was already.
Well, we're not filling anything. We're draining. So,
We still have, all the events will have porta potties out there too.
yeah, we'll have to have some ADA ones.
Yeah.
That's not ADA, so we're gonna have to get at least a couple of ADA ones out there. But, so they probably aren't hooked up to the sewer where they're draining the whole time or draining occasionally through the day, which I won't leave it. I won't leave it draining because that causes
That's like an
a
RV.
mountain. It causes a mountain. So you let it run, you let it fill, and then you drain. So I'll be having to keep an eye on that, so. But yeah, so we'll definitely have porta potties out there as well, and we can always get more if something comes up for the bigger events. If Blues Fest keeps tracking like it is, I mean, it's tracking to be pretty good size, so I mean, we may have to prepare for more porta potties for that one for sure.
I think think the sign's gonna make a huge difference.
Oh,
I mean,
God, yeah.
everybody knows what's going on now and they'll tell their friends.
So they'll
you know,
still
this
say they
person's coming
know.
in.
They're already.
Nobody-
How do we? I didn't
Nobody
know.
told me.
Nobody told me.
Yeah,
There were people asking about the Cruise Blues Fest just because of the sign, I think, on
Really?
Facebook, yeah.
yeah, cause I mean.
When is this? Where's it gonna be?
Yeah, I mean, so raise the
when did
interest. I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
you should put the QR code up there and really cause some accidents. Did you have something to add to that?
No, but you started talking about summer events update, so I just stepped up.
So we're gonna move to item C, summer events update.
Okay, so far on, just real quick, on interest, people clicking that they are going to attend Balloons Over Angel Fire, 12,000 people. The one number that I'm really happy with is Blues Fest is 9,000 people already and it's tracking up. So hopefully Blues Fest is a bigger weekend than Balloons Over Angel
Still a
Fire.
month out too, right?
Yeah, it's the 11th and 12th.
And
Exactly.
there were about, prior to the rodeo, there were about 2,000 people that had said they were interested in the rodeo, so. These are good, strong numbers with click to intent. Okay. That's it.
That's it? Okay. All right, we'll move on to new business. Item A, lodgers tax board vacancy discussion. So Nancy made decision, she's got a lot going on, so she stepped down. We are looking at a few different options as far as, you know, the lodgers tax board has to have a particular makeup. It's not like other boards. The state mandates that we have two people who are property managers and
Represent lodging.
represent lodging, and then we have to have two people that are business people that have some interaction with tourism, and then we have to have one conservative citizen. I'm not sure if that's exactly how it's phrased, but it's not, it's anybody.
It's an at-large member, yeah.
So we're kind of looking to fulfill that position. It has to, once we find somebody, it has to go before village council to approve the appointment of that person. So what we'll do is come up with a recommendation. And then we'll move. We maybe discuss it at the next meeting and then move forward, or if we find somebody, we can just make a recommendation to council and then they can vote on it and that person can become a permanent member. But we are different from other boards from the standpoint that we actually have to have a particular makeup on our board per state statute.
Yeah, we're a board, not a committee. Question. On our board makeup, can we have more than one representative from a business? And I'm asking that in regard to the resort. Their marketing director, Mike Hawkins, who does all their lodging and all that other information, would be a good candidate for this board, but I'd hate to lose Dawn, you know? And Mike's more lodging specific. That's his job right now, is filling those rooms. I don't know if that's,
You might fall into that property management or property
yeah, he'd be a lodging representative, yeah.
rather than a business representative.
Yeah, when I was on the board, I was a lodging representative, and Owen and Nancy were our lodging representatives, right?
I mean, I don't think there's anything that in the state statute that precludes having, there's a business is big enough that they represent more than one angle. It's more of a perception.
Yeah, I know, it's
issue.
the local,
So that would be something that, we need to consider as
yeah,
well. But, depending, Nancy was making up a lodging representative, and so, we're kind of trying to figure out, there's not as many of those here as there are just business people. Whereas we have a lot of restaurants and rental shops and, retail places that could be a part of as a business person. So
yeah.
if you have some thoughts, probably I would say just to shoot them to me if you have some thoughts, and then, you know, we'll figure out a recommendation and submit it to the council for approval, but until that time, we can function with four, I mean, technically, forms three. So as long as we have three, you know, until we fulfill that other spot, then you know, there would be a lot of people if we didn't have to have a particular makeup. So it's a little bit of a different situation, and we want to make sure we do things right. But submit any, you know, shoot me an email if you have any thoughts of, you know, people that would be good or how to structure it, and we'll try to get it filled as soon as possible. Guess that's it. Call this meeting adjourned.